The truth occurs. The truth occurs.
Hi, I'd just like to give you a quick update, if I can, on what's going on in Egypt. Now, in the last video I posted, I mentioned that the message coming from them was basically, show's over, get back to work. But that doesn't mean that the show was actually over. That's just what Omar Suleiman was trying to convey. He actually said almost exactly that in this interview. He basically said, show's over, get back to work. Oh yes, and you may remember that, the media was kind of saying that there was a camp-like atmosphere in Tahrir Square with, acrobats and vendors and, bears on unicycle juggling things and trying to make it sound like everything was hunky-dory over there. Everything's okay, it's a nice peaceful protest, and pretty soon things should be wrapped up and life should go on as normal. However, according to this recent article from the Gazette.com from Colorado Springs, the show is far from over. They're still protesting. They're still demanding meaningful change. It says here, the crowd in Tahrir Square had swollen to several 100,000 in expectation that Mubarak would announce his resignation in the nighttime address to the nation. Instead, they watched in shocked silence, slapping their foreheads in anger and disbelief. Some broke into tears after he finished. They broke out into chants for him to go. And how is Omar Suleiman responding to this ongoing demand for real change? According to this article from Blacklisted News, Omar Suleiman, Egypt's torturer-in-chief, threatens to unleash dark bats of night and to terrorize people. They give an account of how he tortured somebody personally. Among other things, they stuffed something in his bum and put a diaper on him and, quote, wrapped him up like a spring roll. And then they say Suleiman's history should be kept in mind when considering statements he made yesterday. In a thinly veiled threat, he warned that if protests do not end soon, there will be a coup and dark bats of the night will emerge, quote, to terrorize the people. I mean, what is this guy? Count Dracula? Let's recap what kind of happened. Okay, first the US funded these groups to create these, opposition via Facebook and such, like Kifaya and also the Muslim Brotherhood, and they all have ties to the CIA and things like that. And then they had this revolution, right, with the riots. The Egyptians imposed a curfew, it was ignored, they brought in the military, that didn't help very much. And there's a lot of support coming from the West. So then Omar Suleiman is appointed vice president. And Mubarak says he'll resign in September. His son won't run either, although he's not resigning right now. And Suleiman is not going to run for president either. It's just temporary. In the interim, the opposition groups are all supposed to get together and work something out, and there's supposed to be an orderly transition and all that. Okay, however, you want the illusion of meaningful rebellion. You don't want a real meaningful rebellion. So now that they've gone through their charade, they'd like it to stop. So first, you have the curfews and you have the military coming in, and that was maybe, not expected to stop it. But now then they do want to stop it at some point. They started running people over with embassy vans. They said they were stolen, but, it's kind of like, well, I know who let out all those prisoners and armed them. Like, who stole the embassy vans, right? So they run people over with vans, and then they kind of have a martial law right now with the military in control, and the police have pretty much unlimited powers. And if that doesn't work, bring out the dark bats of the night. So it looks like, they've gone through their charade, and then they're trying to actually stop this. But the people of Egypt are demanding real change, and that's what the New World Order doesn't want, not real change. They'll go to any lengths to prevent it, including bringing out the dark bats of the night. Well, thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.